The NBA season this year has had
Shout
so
out
much
the Rays,
drama
shout out the
going
Rays
on
for the
that it damn near
video,
feels like
dog.
a reality TV show at times. So many
Well, that sound
storylines that
Canadian
ended up
right
being
there.
forgotten later on in the year, and it really was feeling like keeping up with the Kardashians at times. So, speaking of forgotten storylines, that's what I'm here for. To recap the whole season and touch on moments we may have forgotten collectively.
Throw W
So without
for
further
Rays,
ado,
man,
let's
in
let
the
me
chat.
start the goddamn video. So to start the 2022-23 NBA season, we have to mention the previous winners of last season, with that of course being the Golden State Warriors. Now since the Warriors were heavily over the salary cap, some changes had to be made, since they couldn't keep two essential pieces in Gary Payton and Otto Porter Jr. But with most of the core together, they were sure to just be a swell group of individuals getting along swimmingly on the way to compete for another championship, right? Oh. Anyways, I think it's time we look away from the Warriors and look at the NBA as a whole and go month by month in this B word. So here's the outline. There's going to be 3 categories for every month, that being record, drama, and moves. Now if we use our critical thinking skills, the record is being the win-loss record for every team I cover, and now for the drama. Well, drama is obviously some crazy shit that happens during the season, like if someone decided to cosplay as a thug or be out as a straight up freak. But these are just examples.
El Meat.
Don't worry. And finally, moves is any acquisition a team makes during the season that matters. I'm not going to talk about two ways moving up or down or G League stuff. Now with all of that intro shit out the way, let's hop into the 2023 NBA season, starting with the month of October. Now since I'm a West Coast enjoyer, we're starting with the Western Conference instead of the East. And if you have a problem with that, go make your own video, bud. Okay.
This is a fire video concept, by the way. You should do this every year.
Let's get into it. At the top of the West at the end of October, we have the Blazers at 5-1. Damn. Maybe Dame will have another deep playoff run like 2019. Tied with the Blazers at 5-1, we have the Suns. It looks like they really want to get their get back after getting banged by a European in the playoffs. In third at 6-2, we have the Jazz. Lauri Markkanen really looks like a school threat with the way he be shooting. It looks like getting rid of Rudy Gobert with Hall of Fame
he's gonna go
lockdown.
month by month. Talk about the record of each team, the drama. Oh, okay, this is gonna be fire.
If you
This is
know,
gonna
you
be
know.
fire, bro.
And Donovan Mitchell didn't mean shit. Alright, speedrun now. Pop with the coaching masterclass, Spurs at 5-2. Zion is pretty good at this whole basketball thing when he actually plays. Pels at 4-2. Jokic got his boys back, but he's still only at 4-3. Is he a fraud? John Grizz tied at 4-3. Same with the Timberwolves.
After all that,
Dallas.
Cat got no business sounding like me, dog. Holy, dude is 6'11", 200 plus, bruh. Like, he got no business sounding like me. Also, do y'all got tips on like making your voice sound deeper? I want my voice to sound deeper, man. God, I feel like my voice isn't deep enough, man. Like hell yeah, you know. Yeah, let me try to deepen my voice. All right, this is my deep voice, man. It's like this is like when I wake up, you know. Like this is what it sounds like when I what's up, babe? You know, this is what it sounds like. But when I talk about basketball, it sounds like this. It should just be annoying me, man. You know, like this. Hell yeah, type shit. You know, hell yeah. Oh, just accept the squeaky. I kind of have. You know what? This is a secret from my old videos, bro. I think Cardiac knows this. I ain't gonna lie. I used to pitch shift, bro. Back when I used to do just voiceover only, I used to pitch my voice down like two semitones. You know? Yeah, man. That's what I used to do. I was insecure about my squeaky ass voice. But here we are.
At 3-3, but don't worry, Luka won't miss the playoffs. OKC at 3-3, no way Shai carries this team to the playoffs, right? Warriors with a generational fall off at 3-4, along with the day-to-day Clippers, also at 3-4. And unfortunately, my Sacramento Kings are gonna go through yet another trash-ass season after we trade Halliburton for Sabonis, with them at 2-4. Then the Lakers are at 1-5. Oh, and the Rockets haven't won a game yet, which is to be expected. They're definitely a team of all time. They're 0-6. Now, let's go East and check those standings. Now for number 1 in the East, we have the Milwaukee Bucks who are 6-0, and Giannis is looking for that second ring. And at number 2, we have the 5-1 Cavaliers who just got Donovan Mitchell in the offseason. Maybe they don't need LeBron to win a championship. And third,
Yo, bro, these first 6 games when the Cavs were 5-1, ooh, people were hyping them up like crazy.
Celtics are 4-2, and this is probably the reason why they lost 2 games in October. Now let's run through the rest of the East.
Cavs too.
Two-way tie between the 2 6s, Atlanta and Toronto, both at 4-3. Philly and New York are both tied, with Philly being at 4-4 and New York being at 3-3, staying at 500. Chicago had a generational fall off. Sorry, Kenny. They sit at 3-4, with the damn Poverty Hornets also at 3-4. MJ has been cooking up a whole lot of nothing with this sorry ass franchise. Wait, I'm a Kings fan. Never mind. I'm gonna shut my mouth. My fault. Washington at 3-4 and Indiana at 3-4. Please, Hallie, come back. I miss you. Brooklyn assembled the Avengers just to be 2-5. You hate to see it. Then the Heat fell off crazy after last season and started 2-5 also. Detroit led by Killian Hayes are at 2-6. Shout out Stat Stuffer on TikTok. And Orlando are in dead last in the East at 1-6. Now time for October's drama and moves.
Nothing.
Yeah, not a single thing happened to you.
Just
not
pure
gonna lie.
hoops.
This will change soon enough though, so don't worry. Now we're on to November. This song is so good, man. The West now has Phoenix at the top at 15-16. I'm so proud of them. Maybe CP0 will imitate Sonic and finally grab a fucking ring, or maybe the Babytron line will stay true forever.
Bitch, you never get a ring like CP3.
Wait, Jokic is actually defending off the fraud allegations. This is crazy. He's an MVP candidate, but this is nothing new. More importantly, his team is 14-7 now. Pelicans are third at 13-8. Boy oh boy, Zion is sure good at this basketball thing when he actually plays. And Brandon Ingram is pretty good at this basketball thing too. Shout out to that one person in my Twitter replies who constantly glazes him. Memphis Cornballs are at 12-9. Rehab Home is at 13-10. And do my eyes deceive me? The Kings have a positive record.
Hell yeah.
I'm so sorry my emotions got the best of me. Kings at 11-19. Light the beam, gang. Utah fell off. Walker Kessler is cool though. Jazz at 13-11. Warriors at 500, 11-11, along with the Wolves. And Blazers, I guess that punch did something. And Rudy Gobert has been doing nothing. And for the Blazers, as Shaq once said, you can't fool me. I'm familiar with your game. The Mavs are 10-10, 500. Mark Cuban, give this man Luka some damn help and hop off Shark Tank, buddy. OKC Thunder are preparing to tank for generations to come and are at 9-13.
Luka, oh my God. What the Mavs are doing with Luka is pissing me off, bro. Get him some help, man. And y'all did get him some help in JB. And y'all couldn't. Oh my God, bro. Jesus Christ.
The Lakers still have Leonardo on the roster and are 8-12 as a result. Don't hurt me, I actually like Westbrook. Spurs are second to last at 6-16, and I know Charles Barkley is grinning ear to ear right now. And finally, the Rockets are in dead last at 5-16, which means it's time to go East again. The Celtics are at the top of the East right now at 18-4, and the Greek Freak and the Bucks are behind them at 15-5.
Bruh, this right here was peak Celtics, bro. 18-4. Tatum actually in the MVP race because of how much of a winning gap we got over the rest of the fucking league, bro. Nah, this was peak Celtics right here, bro. God.
And the Cavs are right behind them at 14-8, which means this heads out the top three in the East. Now, time to speedrun the rest. Wait a damn minute. Tyrese has the Pacers at 4th at 12-19. We love you, Hallie. Everyone. I don't think there's a single person on this earth who doesn't like Tyrese Halliburton. Okay, now we speedrun. Atlanta and Philly are both at 12-10. Toronto at 11-10. Brooklyn is having yet another disappointing season. They're 12-11. Wonder if they'll do anything to attempt to fix this. Oh wait, what? They actually did something about it. Well, we'll talk about this in a moment. Wizards are at 11-11. If I was a white girl, I'd make a wish. And to round out the bottom, we have Miami and New York at 10-12. Chicago at 9-12. Charlotte at 6-15. Orlando at 5-17. And Killian Hayes and the Pistons are 5-18.
Hell yeah.
Okay, now on to the drama. Steve Nash getting fired was completely deserved. Steve Nash was holding back the squad completely. Steve Nash got fired on November 1st, and the Nets were 2-6 at the time. So yeah, looking back on it, this was a great decision. Now, other than that, there wasn't a whole lot of drama in November. Wait, you're telling me Kyrie did what? Well, there wasn't a whole lot of drama for teams that aren't the Nets. Okay, so basically, Kyrie tweeted some stuff about the people, the bad guys in World War II were not very fond of in a demeaning way. And apparently, the tweet was supposed to be educational about the origins of his people. But, how do I word this without YouTube Hakeem swatting me off the backboard? So basically, Kyrie tweeted a link to a film about the origin of Israel and a bunch of other stuff, all meaning to be educational. But within the film that he tweeted the link to, it was said in the movie that apparently the mustache man didn't do anything bad to the people he didn't like, which, if we know history, it's not very true. Anyways, Kyrie was suspended for the most of November, and this, along with the fact that Ben Simmons forgot how to be half decent at this whole basketball thing, led to KD putting the team on his back and on his shoulders for the rest of the month. Now, with all of that out of the way, we can finally get on to...
Was this the month where, I think it was Cam Thomas, he got suspended for saying no homo? Was that month, bro? That was a crazy storyline in my opinion, man. I ain't gonna lie. And I think recently, too, there was a clip on the Joe Budden podcast. justifying like saying pause as essentially a homophobic phrase because it's essentially no homo, bro. Essentially saying no homo. And I said that during that time. I'm like, okay, I mean, if no homo gets you fucking suspended, then what's the difference between that and pause? It's literally the same shit. Like, you use it in the same context. Literally just substitute one word for... I don't know, bro. That was crazy.
To the moves for the month of November, which was just firing Steve Nash, yeah. I'm telling you, it was just only Nets drama and moves.
Oh, he got fined.
So now, moving on from Steve Nash getting packed up, let's talk about December. The format of this video will change soon, don't worry. The end of December sees Denver at the number 1 seed at 23-12, with New Orleans slightly behind them at 23-13. Surely nothing goes wrong for them, right? And third, we have Memphis at 22-13, Dallas at 21-16, and falling behind them, we have the Kings at 19-15. My Saboner is raging. Now, let's finish the rest of the West quickly.
Hey, yo.
Clippers are 21-17, Phoenix fell off, 20-17, 18-17 for the Blazers, Warriors at 19-18, Utah at 19-20, Minnesota at 16-21. LOL! The Lakers and OKC tied at 15-21, the Spurs are 12-24, and yet again, Houston last at 10-26. Time for the East. Boston on the top of the East, shout out Racem at 26-10. Then Brooklyn with the comeback of the century after firing Steve Nash. They're at 24-12. And third, we have the Mango Smoothie Enjoyer and the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, let me finish this and get to the juicy December drama. Cleveland! 23-14. Philly 21-14. Indy 20-17. Miami and New York 19-18. Atlanta 17-19.
I'm surprised that Indy fell off. Well, not really, but I really thought they were gonna make the playoffs, man.
Chicago and Toronto 16-20, Washington 16-21, Orlando 13-24, Charlotte 10-27, and finally Detroit, headed by Killian Hayes, 10-29. Now for the drama for this month, and let me tell you, December was actually so insane for it. Now, a lot of my longtime viewers know Kanye is my favorite artist, so it came as a shock to me when I opened up Twitter and I saw this. CP0 Rings was out here piping.
No, that was crazy. When Kanye tweeted that out, I'm like, Chris Paul back Kim Kardashian, bro? What the fuck?
Talk to me when I opened up Twitter and I saw this.
Nah, this is great. Let's break one last window before we get out of here. I caught this guy with Kim. Nah, this was nuts, bro. This was crazy, yo.
CP0 Rings was out here piping Kim K. It all makes sense now. He has the Kardashian curse. Alright, then after that, the Celtics head coach got his Quizlet account leaked where he would actually game plan for different players on Quizlet.
I forgot about
Quizlet.
That.
What happened to clipboards and film, man? We out here using
I forgot
Quizlets.
about
Another big thing that happened
bro.
in December was Jay Crowder continuing to have a severe case of thinking he's him. Man was holding out on the Suns like he's the next coming of Michael Jordan or something when he doesn't even average double-digit points and is literally on the bench. Anyways, speaking of someone who is him, we gotta talk about Luka Doncic. On December 27th, against the Knicks, he decided to drop the first...
Oh, was this the 60-20? Yo, people forgot about first half Luka, bro. And I think this is how, like, crazy Embiid... It shows how crazy Embiid and Jokic were for the totality of the season. But Luka, in that first couple of months, bro, Luka was on some shit. He was on some shit, bro.
Ever 60, 20, and 10 games the NBA has ever seen. I can't wait to see him come out with a vengeance in this year's playoffs. Now to move on from that, we have arguably the craziest fight this year. I think a lot of people actually forgot about when Killian Hayes put Mo Wagner to sleep. He was honk-shoeing in the middle of an NBA game.
What the fuck?
This shit was actually insane and just everyone forgot about it. He slept another grown man in the middle of an NBA game. Finally, one of the most significant things that happened in December was Zion Williamson throwing down this straight up vicious dunk at the end of an RA1 game.
Oh yeah, I remember people had those think pieces about like sportsmanship around this shit. I didn't mind it, bro. I didn't mind about it. You know, people been doubting Zion all this time with his injuries and shit. At least at that time, it looked like it was finally healthy. This was New Orleans versus Phoenix. We know they got smoke. If you want beef, we got sausage. Zion, show out, bruh. Show out. I like that out of Zion. And
igniting beef between the Suns and Pels for the rest of the season. Yeah. Now, for the moves that occur in December, we have nothing. Now earlier when I said the format of this video is going to switch up soon, I was talking about now, because it's time to finish this NBA season off at a quicker pace. So let's keep the same format, except we're going all the way to the All-Star break on this one. So let's jump into these NBA records. Top 5 of the West season: Nuggets at 41-18, Memphis at 35-22, the Kings at 32-25, Clippers at 33-28, Suns at 32-28. Now for the rest. Dallas at 31-29, New Orleans at 30-29, Minnesota 31-10, Warriors 29-29, OKC 28-29. Now, if you can't tell already, the West is quite close, but let's finish this up. Jazz are 29-31, Portland 28-30, Lakers 27-32, Spurs 14-45, and finally, yet again, at the bottom, we have the Rockets. Probably my favorite AAU team of all time. Okay, now heading east again. Boston is number 1 at 42-17. Bucks are 41-17. Philly 38-19. Cleveland 38-23. Brooklyn 34-24. New York 33-27. Miami 32-27. Atlanta 29-30. Washington 28-30. Toronto 28.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I mean, I get why, but in an ideal sense, I guess, I think Brooklyn broke up that KD Kyrie duo. It's 1 year too soon. I think they should have just let the season fly. They was making some noise this season, man. And with how the East played out, bro, man, with how Nick Claxton developed as well, that Brooklyn team is a not the craziest what if, but it's a decent what if, bro. I think they should have stuck it. I think they should pause. I think they should have stuck it, man.
8-31, Chicago 26-33, Indiana 26-34,
also with how KD was playing.
Orlando 25-35, Charlotte 17-43, and last Detroit 15-44. If you can't tell, I was trying to get through this section because besides the playoffs, this is the most drama-filled part of every season so far. So let's get into it. First things first, Donovan Mitchell and Damian Lillard both dropped 70+ points for the first time since Devin Booker did it in 2017. And I have to say, this was in fact a night I had the under on Damian Lillard, which will never happen again. Damian Lillard is not getting a single one of my legs anymore. Pause. Then we have Ja Morant. Now if you don't know, Ja Morant has had a history of acting like he's affiliated, and this month we got a case where he allegedly beat up a 17-year-old kid. And I'm just glad this is where all this stuff stopped happening for Ja. Wait. He might actually be King Vaughn. Now,
that's unfortunate, bro. It's gonna take a lot for Ja to really shave off that stereotype's not the right word, but like that I guess that perception of him. It's gonna take a long. It's gonna take a lot from him to shake that shit off, bro. Stigma, I guess is a better word.
Since I'm a Kings fan, I have to talk about how there are some points throughout the season where we had opposing arenas chanting "Light the Beam." Like, listening to this man, it's just straight up beautiful.
Bro, is this in LA?
We really are America's team. Speaking of widely liked teams across the NBA, let's talk about the exact opposite when the Grizzlies got Unc mad. Now, I speak for everyone when I say making Shannon Sharpe mad is inexcusable. Like, look at this shit. The only thing that redeems the Grizzlies is having Aquaman on their team. Other than that, I really hope Dillon Brooks gets shipped off to Guantanamo Bay. Next, to speak on something that also regards the Lakers, but the league in totality, we have to talk about this Celtics and Lakers game. So LeBron obviously got fouled right here, and it was quite blatant with the game on the line. This was especially important since at this point in the season, the Lakers weren't even slated to be in the playoffs. This game highlighted a lot of other mistakes that the Lakers had previously with the officiating.
That was pretty
bad.
Me
personally, it was kind of annoying seeing the Lakers fans point out every single reffing discrepancy that happened to them this season, but it overall was great for the media to see because these refs have kind of been terrible this season. Because I know personally, as a Kings fan, we had quite a few games with horrible officiating, like when
I don't know when it was this year. It might have been around this time. Every single season, there is a portion of the season where everyone just gets like crazy mad about the referees during the regular season. I know in the playoffs, it's a yearly tradition at this point to shit on the refs, but there's specifically a point in the regular season where refs get shitted on so much to the point where like people start making videos about it. You know, obviously ref complaining is not something new, but I always, there's still a difference between just that regular shit and that point where people start making videos and tweets about it. So
Tyler Hero hit a game winner against us. That was an obvious travel that was called directly after by the coaches and everyone else, the commentators, but not the refs. Then we also had Giannis saying shit like this at All-Star Weekend.
Hey, you out here reffing like Mark Davis and shit.
Anyways, I don't want to talk on this too long because, to be honest, I already have a video in the works deep diving this whole situation. So yeah, be ready for that. Okay, moving on from all of that, February 3rd, 2023 marked a disaster for the Nets, as it was officially time for them to blow things up since Kyrie requested a trade out of nowhere. But I'm going to cover that in the...
Hold on. I need to pause this. Sage tweeted out something with my name on it, bro. What does Twitter have? I swear to God, bro. Stop clipping my shit, bro. I'm done. Stop, please. Please. What do I say now? Hold on. Imagine getting bad dick for 15 years straight. After 15 years. Yo! Imagine getting bad dick for 15 years. That's funny. Oh, shit. Retweet that shit, bro. That was funny. Hold on, where were we?
Move section of this
There was some context.
So, moving on from that, my
Gilbert Arenas
glorious,
started it.
sweet, voluptuous, beautiful monarch, LeBron Raymond James, finally did it. On February 7, 2023, LeBron became the all-time points leader in the regular season, surpassing Kareem after 38 years of his record standing. Really legendary stuff. They did lose the game though, so yeah. Now that about wraps up the drama.
Oh, I forgot. I don't know if y'all remember. They were also talking about Anthony Davis's body language at the end of the game, not caring for LeBron shit. That was the thing. I remember that.
So let's get into moves. And yeah, there's a lot of them since this is the trade deadline. The Lakers are the biggest beneficiary from this year's deadline as they rounded out their team by dealing away a Grubhub driver and a part-time Lyft driver for their whole fucking roster. Kendrick Nunn, Russell Westbrook, and a Coke turned into D'Lo, Rui Hachimura, Jared Vanderbilt, and a one-hit wonder. I got ho. Then speaking on Kyrie Irving, who asked for a trade, he got dealt to the Mavs in exchange for Spencer, DFS, a first, and also 2 seconds. The Raptors traded a first and 2 seconds for Jakob Poeltl for some reason. The Nuggets traded Bones to the Clippers for a bag of chips. Warriors were in a 4-team deal with a lot of individuals. You can read them on screen if you want. The Rockets got John Wall back to see if he wanted to say that shit to their face that he was talking on that podcast. Clippers got Plum Dog Millionaire, and that's about it. What the hell? Kevin Durant to the Phoenix.
Was it crazy that when this happened, it kind of like didn't surprise me? Or like it did. I said it during that. I think I was there. I was already hearing that during that time. I was like, this shit doesn't really put fear in my hearts, bruh. Like, I don't know. It didn't really excite me. You know, it wasn't, I don't know, bro. I just wasn't really high on the move initially.
Phoenix Suns. Now, as you can see on your screen, it was quite a lot of moving pieces in this trade, but the most important were the 4 firsts and Mikal Bridges and Kevin Durant, of course.
That's so many picks, bro. Holy. That's so many picks. Chat, that's so many picks. Jesus Christ.
4 firsts and Mikal Bridges and Kevin Durant, of course. Good lord, I'm finally done with the trade deadline. If I didn't speak on a trade, it's either because it's not important enough for me to speak on, or it's because I'm stupid and forgot it. Anyways, on to All-Star Weekend, and I'm not talking about this in much depth. Don't worry. Mac McClellan won the dunk contest and pulled off some crazy shit.
Hold on, chat. Hold on.
We got one of the funniest clips in NBA history with Grant Williams and Giannis. Damian Lillard increases trophies that aren't NBA championships with him winning the three-point contest. And here are the All-Stars. No one cares about the All-Star game. De'Aaron held a vicious snub, and even Anthony Edwards was mad, but they both got an injury reserve. So like Berlizzi said, I'ma let it slide. Now, I think y'all been waiting a little too long for the playoff segment of this video, so I'm going to skip to the end of the season. And instead of going over records, since y'all probably already know your team's favorite record, and most of the team's records, since, you know, it's the ending record, the most important one, I'm just going to say who made the playoffs, who made the play-ins, and who's in the Wembanyama sweepstakes. Out west, the Sixers as follows. In first, the Denver Nuggets. In second, the Memphis Grizzlies. In third, the Sacramento Kings. In fourth, the Phoenix Suns. In fifth, the Los Angeles Clippers. In sixth, the Golden State Warriors. Our 4 play-in teams are the Los Angeles Lakers, who made the comeback of the century, the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Pelicans, and the Thunder. And then, the Wembanyama sweepstakes are the Mavericks, who fell off and didn't make the playoffs even after getting Kyrie, the Jazz, the Trailblazers, Damian Harris-Carey, Houston Rockets, and Spurs in last place. Now then, going out east, the top 6 is as follows. In 1, Milwaukee Bucks. In 2, the Boston Celtics. In 3rd, Philadelphia 76ers. In 4th, the Cleveland Cavaliers. In 5th, the New York Knicks. And in 6th, the Brooklyn Nets, who fell off after trading their 2-star players. But they got Mikal, so he kind of carried. Then our playing teams are the Miami Heat, Atlanta Hawks, Toronto Raptors, and Chicago Bulls. None of these teams are going to make the finals, don't worry. And then Wembanyama sweepstakes are the Indiana Pacers in 11, Washington Wizards in 12, Orlando Magic in 13th, Charlotte Hornets in 14th, and Detroit Pistons in 15th. Okay, now for the drama heading up to the end of the season, and then we can finally get to the playoffs and play-ins. Now, on one random February game, the Los Angeles Clippers and the Sacramento Kings decided that neither teams were going to play defense and that they were just going to score. And score they did, because at the end of 2 overtime periods, the score was 176 to 175, and you know my Kings pulled out on top. This was the greatest regular season game of all time. I don't care what anyone has to say. Durant slipped on the floor during warm-ups and was out for damn near the rest of the season. The Houston Rockets coach finally broke after a season of coaching a trash-ass AAU team. Then during the last game of the regular season, nothing important happened. You know, everyone was having a chill time. Until Rudy Gobert decided to punch Kyle Anderson for whatever reason. He probably told him to learn Chinese since he didn't do shit for the team after.
Chat, how do y'all feel about that Rudy Gobert trade now, man? I still got some hope, man. I don't know, man. Maybe it's blind faith. But I'm gonna be honest, chat. I don't mind Gobert on that team. It's just a fit with Cat and Gobert, bro. I swear to God, like if they traded Cat for a point guard, hey, be something else. But it's the fit with Cat and Gobert specifically, bro. I don't even think Gobert is a problem.
For trading all those draft picks. Now it's finally time for the playoffs. If you want to see any of these series more in depth, I have a whole playlist going over this whole year's playoffs. Check that out. The play-in game between the Wolves and the Lakers was really close, and there was almost a game winner, but someone had to sell. DeMar DeRozan found an unpatched glitch where he brought his daughter to an NBA game, and she screamed courtside every time the Toronto Raptors tried to shoot a free throw, which led them to shoot 50% from the.
Yo, I watched this game with my girl, bro. She was visibly getting annoyed. Like me, it was fun for me. She was trying to watch this game literally every 2 seconds. It was like she was getting annoyed with DR, bro.
The line. This glitch got patched though because she had to go to school at the next playoff game, so yeah. And then Hawks beat Heat, and the Wolves beat the Thunder. The Nuggets gentlemen sweep the Wolves, get Anthony Edwards some help. Dylan Brooks decided to call LeBron out. It didn't work out too well as they got beat in 6 games, and LeBron was going absolutely crazy. And in the closeout game, they lost by 40. Bro is not the villain of the NBA. The Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors had one of the greatest first rounds of all time that went to 7 games where Domantas Sabonis got stepped on his chest, and there were high-scoring games. De'Aaron Fox was going crazy. But it ended in tragedy as the Golden State Warriors won in 7. Kawhi and Paul George were load managing damn near the whole entire regular season, and then also decided to load manage during the playoffs, so I don't really know what that organization was doing, which led to them losing in 5 games. But Russell Westbrook.
That was so random, bro, because Kawhi was cooking those first 2 games, man. I really thought this was the year the Clippers proved everyone fucking wrong. All right? Really, like Russ was cooking. Right? And then just out of nowhere after game 2, Kawhi just never plays again, bro. Like, God, Kawhi was cooking those first 2 games, bro.
Westbrook had some good games in the playoffs, though. Now in the East, the Bucks win out sorry. As the number 1 seed, so many people had them as favorites to win it all, just for them to get beat in 5 games by Jimmy Butler masterclass, where he had 1 game where he scored 56. And all in all, Jimmy Butler was really going crazy during this series. Tom Foolery prevails. Boston took care of Atlanta in 6 games. Philly brought out the brooms for the.
We were getting cooked for going to 6 with Atlanta, too.
Brooklyn Nets, and in all honesty, the Brooklyn Nets weren't even supposed to be there. The lights were too bright for the Cavs and Jared Allen as the New York Knicks beat them in 5 games. Now, quick award show intermission. Joel Embiid brought home MVP. That surely means he'll go far in this year's playoffs, right? Paolo Banchero won Rookie of the Year, and for some reason, just no one talks about him. Malcolm Brogdon won 6th Man of the Year. Mike Brown won Coach of the Year, and De'Aaron Fox won Clutch Player of the Year. Now, time for these semifinals. The Denver Nuggets had to go against KD, Devin Booker, and that's about it. So they beat them in 6 games because the Suns kind of need a supporting cast. Now for the series that might have been watched more than the actual finals itself, we have the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron and Curry.
I'm going to be honest, it's probably my fault for overhyping this series up in my head, but this series kind of disappointed me. Like, my bad to the basketball purists out there. There was great basketball being played. All right? But when you think LeBron, AD versus Curry, Clay, and Dre, you would expect a little bit more drama, you know? You would expect a little bit more animosity, especially with their history. But it's just the old guys just running it back one more time. That's what it felt like, you know? So, it was a cool little series, but It could have been better. It could have been better.
Potential final last matchup in the playoffs, where LeBron beat them in 6 games, but it was overall a good series, so we can't complain. Jordan Poole get ready to learn Cantonese, buddy. The Boston Philly series went to 7 games, where Philly decided to absolutely choke when it mattered most, and James Harden and Joel Embiid were nowhere to be found as they were imitating Casper the Ghost. They left the series a little early and forgot that they had to show up for a Game 7. The tomfoolery continues as the Heat beat the Knicks in 6 games. If you guys know where Julius Randle is, please let me know. He's gone missing every single time he's been in the playoffs. Now time to talk about the conference finals. Well, there's not a lot to talk about in the West as the Denver Nuggets beat the Lakers in 4 games and it damn near forced LeBron to retirement. D'Angelo Russell got to step it up for my glorious Sweet King. Then out east, Jaylen Brown decided to tweet this out, and after that they lost 3 games straight, but then they won 3 games straight, but then lost in Game 7, so yeah.
I was healing. I was healing, my guy. God. I'm remembering that week. That was a good week for me, man. Just in terms of content and just having fun with the shits, bruh. That was a really good week for me, man. Don't let us get one, bruh. That was a good time, chat. That was a good time. I will say that.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. Better luck next time, Boston. Now, before the finals, let's talk about every coach that got fired in this year's playoffs, because there's a lot. The list of coaches that got fired includes the Suns head coach, the Boston Celtics head coach, the Milwaukee Bucks head coach, and finally the Philadelphia 76ers head coach, because we all know Doc Rivers is a fraud. Now, that sets the matchup for the 2023 NBA Finals, which is the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets. And I'm very disappointed to say this, but in this instance, tomfoolery did not prevail as the Denver Nuggets beat them in 5 games. But what I can be happy about is that Jokic finally beat the fraud allegations and the empty stat allegations. Jokic is an NBA champion and was the best player on that team and was the best player in this year's playoffs and led his team to their first ever championship in franchise history. Now with that happy ending, the 2023 NBA season has finally concluded.
Yo, these I don't know if y'all have seen these TikToks. These TikToks go hard. They were like essentially they were like anime intros for every NBA season, bro. That shit was hard.
I want to say thank you all for watching, and all I can really ask now is, who do y'all think is going to win next year? Because there's a lot of competitors. Oh my god, not this dude. But before I leave, as usual, I want to leave with a message. Stop waiting. If you really want something, go out there and get it. In all honesty, nothing is stopping you but yourself. If you fail, it happens. Just go for it. No matter what happens at the end of the day, you should be proud of yourself, and I'm proud of you too, because you tried, and that's all that really counts. You trying. So step out of your comfort zone and do something great, because you know you can. Everyone on this earth has potential, and maybe for you, you just haven't realized it yet. So go realize that potential. Okay, now usually I like to leave that little inspirational piece as the last part of my videos, but I have to apologize for the wait that I've been having you guys wait. Usually I put out a video every week, but this one was just different, man. When this idea first came into my head, I knew I had to pursue it because in general, I just feel like this is going to be my best performing video. And even if it's not, I just feel like it's going to be my best video in general. Because as you can tell,
yeah, sometimes you just get that feeling, yo, this right here's a banger. This right here, this next one, this shit right here is a banger.
I put in a lot of time for this. There's probably just going to be a picture over this part. But before that, man, editing was going crazy. I was staying up till 4 a.m. editing some of these clips, and whew, it was just a lot of hard work, but I'm glad it's over, and I'm glad I can get this video out for you guys. So I hope you enjoy, and be great, y'all. Should have a normal upload routine from now on.
Yo, bro, shout out to Raze for the video. That was a great video. I'm a sub up, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a sub up. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, check out his channel. That was a great video, like for real. I like to say the NBA YouTube right now, man. Like for real. Got a decent amount of names actually like coming up. Shout out to Blank Boy. Blank Boy's another one that's coming up, man. I like this new gen of NBA YouTube coming up, cause they're either like really embracing the jokiness of the sport, or like really going in with the analytical schmanalytical shit, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I really do like this new wave, man. You know, shout out to PC. I think PC is a really big part of this new wave of NBA YouTube as well. You know, shout out to Blank Boy, just hit 100K. Shout out to the young guys. You know, I'm really like a vet in this shit now, bro. Like, shout out to the young guys, man. You know, this big boy souls, this big bro souls, man. You know, if y'all need some help, hit me up, man. You know, I'm always out to lend a helping hand. I'm OG for real. You know, if you guys need help, hit me up, man.